I'm live. Howdy, guys. How are y'all doing? Got everything set up? Yeah, it's just one of those kind of days. I worked during the day, trying to get all that done, rushing home to get it set up for the show, but I made it, and I'm so happy I did. Welcome to all of y'all. Welcome to Monday. Welcome. A short week for a lot of us, right? We got a holiday to celebrate. Some of us do. I know some of y'all are north of the border and elsewhere, but for most of us, Thanksgiving week. So I figured I'd tell a few stories about that today. Obviously, we'll talk about Big Brother as well and what's happening outside the house. But before I do all that, a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV, especially love you guys that come out here with me every Monday night, either watching live or on replay, either one. It is Thanksgiving week, so just keeping in mind everything that's important, that's valuable to you, friends and family, living life well and all that. I'm so grateful for everything I've got, and that certainly includes you guys as well. So welcome aboard to Cliff Notes. Hope y'all are doing fantastic. All right, before I go any further, as I always do, and I'll do it quick, for those of you who may be new out there, and I do see a few new names out there, for those of you who may be new, please consider subscribing to my channel. Because that way, and then turn on notifications. If you do both of those things, whenever I drop a new video, you'll get notification of it. You'll be able to watch it. While you're out there, you can give a little thumbs up as well. Still debating what I'm going to cover during the Big Brother off season, how we're going to make that work. So we'll talk about all of that. But before we do, I want to see who's out here and give a big old howdy and a big old shout out to as many of y'all as I can. Marilyn Sutherland. Marilyn, how are you doing? Lee Strack as well. Lee, how are you? Brian Hosteller. I love seeing all these names out here. Amanda Lowe. Cindy Hire. Hi, Cindy. How are you? My friend. Mark Taylor. I think I said Mark. I'll say it again. Keith Franken as well. Keith, howdy. Terry Thomas. Let's see. Mr. Brown Bear 147. Howdy, Brown Bear. How are you? Welcome aboard. Michelle Moore, let's see who else. Kiki, Deborah Nail, Ann Noe. See, every time I get that, I hope I get it right. You're going to tell me after a few weeks I continue to say it wrong, but I'm trying. Carissa West, Jake the Horror Movie Geek. All right, Jake, did you know in 1931 on this day, the original Frankenstein came out with Boris Karloff as the monster, the original horror movie. One of the original ones, I guess. Just thought throw that there just for you, my friend. LJ Price as well, Nikki Banfield. Let's see, Amanda. Amanda. I'll say it again. Taylor Mangus as well. Tommy Flanagan. Edge. Welcome aboard, Edge. Kendra as well. Tommy Braskett. Wyatt Garrett. Hi, Wyatt. How are you, sir? Kim Sinclair. Beverly Brandon. Anna Martins. Ken T. Laura Lewis. Oh, all these new folks. Welcome all y'all. Tracy Muckenfuss. Anna Martins. And I think Karen Loveland and Classic. And I think we'll shut it down just about there because y'all don't want to hear me saying this the whole time through. But welcome aboard to all of y'all. Kim Herrera as well. I didn't want to leave you out. And Lori Line. All right, there you go. We'll shut it down at that point. And I know a few of y'all had comments and everything. I'll get to as many as I can. I just wanted to make sure I recognized all of my friends out here as well. So what do y'all think? It's off season. Big Brother also, at least for a little bit. Then we got that reindeer games coming up on December 11th, I think. I'm going to watch it. I don't know if I'll cover it. We'll just cover as part of this show. I am curious to see what y'all think about once we start getting into it. But we've got that. But it's kind of interesting now with Big Brother off season. I get to sleep a little bit, which is always nice. So, yeah, it's an interesting time of the year. But let's see. What do we have on here in questions? I'll get right to that. Y'all know me. I ramble and I always run out of time at the end. All right, first question. A non-Big Brother question. We'll start off with Mark Taylor. Are you following Survivor? If so, who is your favorite? Yeah, of course I'm following Survivor. I love Survivor. I've always enjoyed Survivor. Watched it from the very beginning. You know what? There's one episode I missed, and that was when it was a special Sunday night finale back in the day when we had VCRs to tape it, and I didn't tape it correctly, and I missed it. Other than that, I've seen every single episode. Who are my favorites? Well, first of all, let me say this. Even though we're past Big Brother, I was going to say it's a spoiler zone, but I don't know anything except what they've shown on the telecast, so I don't even have to give spoiler warnings. It was on last weekend. Who are my favorites in Survivor? Oh, I don't know. I kind of like Sifu, but he's gone now, so that doesn't work any well. That Blindside, it was Kelly that went home last week, right? I feel like the Lululemon tribe or whatever, they really name a tribe after a pair of clothing brand. But anyway, the Lululemons or whatever, I feel like we saw them for so long, for so much, because they just kept getting sent home that I haven't gotten to know the other tribes quite as much as normally I'd like to. Well, now they're all merged and all that, but I thought that Blindside last week was amazing. But who's left that I really like? Austin seems to be, he's playing the game. He's still upset they took a sandwich from him. But I think Austin's been kind of fun to watch. Drew, I'm kind of cheering for, only because I saw Drew when he first came on and said, oh, what? This guy's not going to do anything. He's just not going to, he's going to be awkward socially and not fit in. Well, he proved me wrong. Well, maybe not. He still seems a little awkward at times, but he's playing the game, and I'm cheering for Drew as well. Emily rubbed me the wrong way as soon as she got on that boat. And I just, if I was on the island, I'd be going, oh, God, I want to get rid of her. But as a viewer, I'm kind of cheering for her just because she's had an interesting arc. She started off as just the bottom of the barrel. It seemed like an easy target everyone's ready to get rid of. She's kind of gotten in a position where she's had some say and some decisions have been made. And she's kind of growing into the game, I think. So I like Emily. And then finally, I'll throw Jake out there just because he's an attorney. He should go home first. And yet somehow he's still out there and still playing the game. So yeah, I'm just now getting to know all the names of all these people and really starting to find myself emotionally invested with the way they're playing. But so far, so good. I there's a few others. Caleb, I was a huge Caleb fan, and then he's gone. So it's like I got to switch my allegiances a little bit. But yeah, I'm enjoying Survivor. It's been fun. I've been enjoying Amazing Race as well. I'd love to go on Amazing Race because I've been all over the world, but I never got a chance to kind of stop and smell the roses, so to speak. Yeah, I went to Milan, Italy. I didn't get to go see all the fancy stuff. I went to an office complex and talked to a bunch of people in an office that could have been in any country in the entire world, went back home the next day. Yeah, so things like that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying my CBS reality shows, even with Big Brother gone for right now. All right, Terry Thomas saying, have you watched all of the Big Brother seasons? Almost. Do you think that Sari and Felicia were bitter or just didn't want to split vote? Well, first of all, as far as the seasons go, I haven't watched all the seasons. I've watched season number 1. And then I've watched season 8 onwards. So the in-between, which is kind of the first golden era that had Janelle and Kaiser and Big Brother All-Stars, the first one, I haven't seen any of those. And I should, because there's people like Bunky that I've met that I'm friends with. I'd love to see how he played the game and what he did. But the time or two I've tried to watch it, the standard definition videos and it's a little bit slower paced game, and I just have never been able to get into it enough to watch a full season. I need to. Maybe that's what I can do off season. Yeah, who am I kidding? I got Australia Big Brother and UK Big Brother and a few others to watch before that. But no, so I have not seen all seasons, but from season 8 onwards, I've seen every single episode, most of the live feeds and all of that. As far as Sari and Felicia, I don't think they were bitter voters. I actually like the way every single person voted. I don't. Maybe there was a little bit of bitterness, but I don't think so. I think Sari and Felicia voted for Matt because they felt closer to Matt and they liked him more. But that doesn't mean bitter. I just feel like they felt like they had worked closer with Matt, and I think Sari and Felicia both were giving more credit to the social game because that's the game they had played, right? I think there's a little bit of a bias in terms of what you do best, in terms of then who you recognize as maybe being the better player. Since they weren't really winning any comps, it was all about the social game for Sari and Felicia. So it didn't surprise me that they rewarded the person who played maybe the better social game of the final 2, which was Matt. And then other people like Cameron, who had won a lot of comps, I wasn't surprised to see him then giving the award to someone who also had won a bunch of comps in Jag. So I'm okay with the votes. Have y'all been watching since they got out of the house, what the house guests have been doing? It's so weird. I remember when I got out, I spent the weekend with my family. We did the typical Los Angeles tourism. We went to the La Brea tar pits and went up and down Hollywood Boulevard and all the stuff that people normally do. But I remember when I got home then, just kind of coming in the house and just kind of chilling. I didn't do a whole lot for a little while. I didn't do meet and greets or anything. I just hung out around the house and got to know my family again better and all. But it seems like these house guests, they got out, they went to Todrick's house, which tends to happen here for these past few seasons. hung out at Todrick's house. Now they're all out there doing Instagram lives and talking to each other. They're already all on Cameo, most of them, I think. So they're enjoying kind of the post Big Brother ride. I've talked to quite a few of them through social media, DMs, and all of that, and welcomed them to the Big Brother family. And most of them, I say most, all of them that I've talked to, very happy to be out of the house and just kind of enjoying the ride and seeing what's going on. So yeah, I'm excited. I've told a bunch of them I look forward to seeing y'all at some reality TV event coming up here before too long. Matt was at the LSU game this weekend. A&M and LSU play next week. I'd love to go over there and meet him and see the game. Don't think I'm going to do it because of Thanksgiving. Too many other family commitments. But yeah, they're all having fun, enjoying the post Big Brother exposure and just getting used to seeing people again. All right, let's see. Mr. Brown Bear saying, wonder if Matt will be in the Olympics. I think so, but y'all clarify if I'm wrong. I think when he was talking about the Olympics and everything, he's not necessarily talking about the full blown. I don't know if the right word is for the Olympics that we think of. I think what he did in the past and where he set all his records is in the Deaf Olympics, which is Special Olympics just for, I don't know if it's just hearing impaired. Sounds like it could be. I don't know if there's visually impaired and other levels to it as well, but I feel like he's done that Olympics, which is a huge deal. And I am so impressed. It kind of makes me, I watch these athletes at the Paralympics and some of those type of Olympics. Incredible. I like those wheelchair basketball players. Blows me away how athletic those guys are. The wheelchair marathon, it makes me feel like I could be doing a whole lot more in life in terms of getting in shape and working out and all of that. But yeah, I think those are the Olympics he's talking about going to, as opposed to because the next Olympics are Paris, right? I think so. Yeah, I've lost track a little bit. But y'all tell me, though, maybe I'm wrong. Is he going to the actual Olympics or at least trying for it? It could be. That's tough. There's some good swimmers that represent this country. So, and I know he talked while he's in the house about, I guess he's got some Hungarian heritage. So maybe being able to swim with the Hungarian team. I don't know. I will say this. If he's in the Olympics, whatever level of Olympics, I'm going to be recording those. I'm going to be watching every bit of it. How cool would that be? I can't picture what it must feel like to be an Olympic athlete and know that you are the best in the world at whatever you do. Pretty cool feeling. So yeah, I'll be cheering for him if he is. All right, let's see what else we have on here. Michelle Moore saying, did you watch Ghost UK? If so, did you like it? No, but I want to. Now, I will say this. I was late getting onto the Ghost bandwagon. I know it comes on. It seems like it was always on right around the time of Big Brother and all that. But I was always so focused on Big Brother that I never had time for one extra show. But my mom loves the show. I've had so many other people tell me about it. So we started watching it because I do have my Paramount Plus. I feel like I'm pitching. I don't get paid by CBS, so y'all don't think I'm doing that. I had my Paramount Plus because of the Big Brother live feeds. And so once that was over, we started binge watching Ghost. And I think we're still in season 1, but I've really enjoyed it. I think it's a fun show. They don't take themselves too seriously. And that guy with the arrow through his neck, I just think, well, all of them, I think are a lot of fun. So no, I think we're going to finish watching all of the US version of Ghost, and then we'll go watch the UK version of Ghost. It looks like they have the same characters and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. Sometimes the British version of some of these shows are better than the US version. As much as I love The Office and Steve Carell and all that, Ricky Gervais in the original Office from over in the BBC, so incredible. I remember watching that show before we even had our version of The Office and just laughing, falling over at his dry humor and just how awkward his conversations were and all. If you haven't checked out the BBC version of The Office, check that as well. But in exchange, I'm going to be watching Ghost UK because, yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. Now that Big Brother's over, I can actually pick up other shows and start binging, watching some of those also. All right, Amanda Lowe is saying, any info on the 6-day Big Brother that Julie talked about in the finale? No, I've been watching. I've been trying to figure out, because I talk to a lot of reality people, and it seems to me, based on everything I've heard, is that it's going to be returning people playing this game. And so I thought, is there anyone that I know that maybe could be on that show that's making a return? So I've been checking out all the folks I talked to, and is someone suddenly disappeared that normally is active on Instagram? I think Haven't noticed it. There's one person, I don't want to mention their name just in case it got them in trouble or anything. I think it's already been filmed, so I don't know that it matters, but I'm still going to hold off just a little bit. There's one person that I feel has gotten a little more active on Instagram, and it makes me wonder if maybe they were on the show and they're trying to make sure that they've got a lot of exposure. I don't know. We'll find out. But no, I don't know anything more than just what Julie Chen talked about and the little bit we heard. You know, she said that someone from for this Big Brother 25 was going to be on the show. And I don't know what that means. Does that mean someone that was pre-jury? So they've already agreed to it, or she just feels comfortable that someone that was post-jury is going to agree to be on the show. It could be either one. I could see Izzy doing it. I could see Cameron doing it. Who else? I really see one of those two is doing it. It's going to be more competition based. Maybe Jared, although I think Cameron or Izzy would be more likely if it's more competition based as opposed to nominating and putting people out like that. Then Cameron may be the best choice, and he won America's Favorite Player, so there certainly would be some reasoning to put him in. But no, I haven't heard anything more about it. As I said, I'm not going to cover it as extra episodes, but I'll cover it on these Monday nights, and I'm curious. It'll be fun to watch. It's going to be such a short season, but I want to see, do they have the same contest that they have during a regular Big Brother season, like slip and slides and all that? Or are they really going to have new and really innovative things? Because if they do, I almost feel like, are they taking this and maybe testing out some competitions that if people like them, maybe they end up on Big Brother 26 next year. So for those of you who may be wanting to try out and get on to Big Brother 26 next summer, watch these comps. There may be some things worth practicing for. And just saying, I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying that's what I'd be doing if I was you. So yeah, I'll be watching though. I think it'll be fun. Depends on who they get, maybe. All right, Mark is saying, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Let me guess, mac and cheese. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it would not be Thanksgiving dinner without mac and cheese. I'll just leave it like that. I'm not sure if I showed up at a Thanksgiving table and it was nothing but mac and cheese that I'd be feeling completely fulfilled either. Pretty basic. I mean, I'm just like everyone. I like the turkey. I almost like the ham even better. I like to kind of like that brown sugar. That is it, candied ham. I don't know if that's the right word for it. The ham that's got all the brown sugar on the outside skin. That's fantastic. A big old thick cut ham. I love that. I'm about the only person in my family I feel like that likes the sweet potatoes. I like them, sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top and all that. That's pretty good. But yeah, you got to have the mac and cheese. You got to have the yeast rolls. Put a big old slab of, you're making me hungry just thinking about it. Big old slab of butter on it. I have never been big on cranberry dressing. It's just something about the way it wiggles when it comes out of that can. Or even, that's what I think of. We have it fresh as well, but I still think about the stuff coming from the can. As a kid, I couldn't stand dressing, stuffing, but now I kind of into it. So yeah, but definitely you got to have the mac and cheese. I don't know what we're going to do this year. It's going to be kind of a potluck type deal because our main Thanksgiving will be with the extended family up at my mom's place, and so everyone's bringing a little bit of everything. So we'll definitely be loaded up. And one of the things that we do down here that's kind of a local regional deal, we tend to have a lot of tamales right around Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving Day, enchilada casserole, tamales, a little more Tex-Mex type food. So trust me, I'm not going to go hungry this year. I got home. I didn't even have time to get a snack or anything. I feel like all I'm doing is think about food for this next week. I've been trying to run a few times a week and get in a little bit better shape and everything. I may have to run a few extra times proactively for what's going to happen with my Thanksgiving dinner. Get me a big old turkey leg. All right. Let's see what we got. Karen Loveland saying, are they selling giant turkey legs behind you? Yeah. Funny little segue there. Giant turkey legs. They have turkey legs. There are a couple of places. We've got the Renaissance Festival here in Houston. I know they're all over the country, so I'm sure a lot of y'all have your local Renaissance fairs as well. They serve turkey legs there that look like they ought to be coming from ostriches. I mean, they're huge. So they got them there. They've got them at the rodeo. I used to eat them all the time. And then I kind of slowed down because, man cannot live by turkey legs alone. But yeah, Yeah, they're nice and juicy and pretty good. So yep, selling some turkey legs back behind me. I got a few Thanksgiving stories, but I'm gonna get through those questions first, and then I'll maybe throw some of those in. Taylor Manga saying, "Do you watch any non-competitive reality TV? For example, Real Housewives or anything on Bravo?" As far as the Real Housewives, no, I've never really gotten into it. I just maybe it's not my demographic that they're aiming for as much. I watch it a few times, but the Real Housewives, the Kardashians, a lot of those, yeah, not so much. Bravo, yes. I actually watch a little bit of Project Runway. Like I'm the seamstress of fashion designer. I still think it's fun. I watch a Project Runway, but the main one we watch on Bravo is Below Deck. I watch Below Deck religiously. It's kind of like Big Brother, except you can't kick anyone off the boat, but they're trapped inside. Their difference is they have to deal with visitors to their house. Some are nice, some of them not so nice, a little bit more demanding. But yeah, I love watching Below Deck. That's our other big one that we watch. What else do we watch non-competitive? We used to watch Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelor in Paradise. Those not so much here lately, just because there's not enough hours in the day. But I've certainly watched my share of those. We've watched. I'm trying to think about it. I guess it's considered competitive. I watch a lot of the cooking shows, and you know what I like in addition to like Hell's Kitchen and Master Chef and all that. I like the ones there's Man versus Food where he goes around and checks out all the different restaurants around the United States, and all it typically has some big eating challenge at the end. You know, you got to eat a 20-pound hamburger in 15 minutes, or a 40 scoop ice cream sundae in the next 30 minutes, something like that. It's a massive. It tells me a lot about this country that we're pretty well off when we can have shows where people are doing that and celebrating having absolutely more food than they ever need, as compared to a lot of places in the world where you're lucky to get enough to keep your calorie content going day to day. But yeah, I love that kind of show. And y'all know what else I like in terms of reality shows? My dirty little secret, I guess, is the rehab shows, the bar rescue, the restaurant rescues, where they go in and they find just the seediest, grossest place. And you think, God, have I been eating at a place like that? By the time they get done, sometimes they fixed it. Sometimes there's just no fixing involved with it. But I like a lot of those shows as well, just because, I don't know. It teaches you a lot about business, I think. Even though I don't own a restaurant or bar or anything, I watch it and think, I'd never do that. Or, yeah, I can see me doing something like that. So, yeah, I watch a lot. I watch a lot of non-real or reality TV, whether it's competitive or just regular reality anyway. It seems like that's about all I watch nowadays. It seems like. All right, what else do we have on here? Oh yeah, another one. Lost my track. Oh, The Block, which is in Australia. No, y'all probably even heard of it. It's a real estate renovation show. You get 5 couples that have these old torn down houses, and each week they have to redo one room of the of their house, and whoever wins gets like $10,000, and by the end they sell the whole house. Whatever they sell it for, they get that money, the difference between what they sold it for versus what the house was bought for when it was all torn up. And so I actually like watching reality shows from other countries. It's just hard to find them online sometimes. But we did find The Block. So I'm right in the middle of binging The Block, and then I'll move on to some other stuff as well. All right. Classic. Classic. How long does it take to get used to being out of the Big Brother house? I think different people are going to be different. For me, having my family here waiting for me when I got out at the end of September. And really, it was about Thanksgiving into Christmas where I really start feeling more comfortable, more at home. So was that September, October, November? So it took me about 2 months, where for 2 months, I was just not really sure what to do with myself. I wasn't working at the time, because when I went on to Big Brother, I'd say goodbye to the job I had at the time. And so I was just kind of sitting around the house. I was probably reading Twitter and social media and stuff more than I should, and just kind of hanging around and getting used to not having cameras around me all the time, and constantly being challenged and paranoid and all of that. After a couple of months, lots of nightmares and everything else. Everyone has nightmares. After the Big Brother house, my nightmares revolved around, oh my gosh, it's eviction day and I haven't met half the people in the house. Who are these people? I don't know them. I actually had a lot of dreams like that. So it took a couple of months. By the time Thanksgiving, Christmas got here, I was hanging around with all of my extended family. Then I felt back up to speed and back to normal. New Year's came January 1st. And it's like, all right, now I'm looking forward. Now it's back to the real world. And so that's how long it took me. I expect most of these house guests, it'll be the same thing. They're still just getting used to everything. Another month or two. Now, some of them who are going to stay involved in the Big Brother world, it may take a lot longer for them. Me, I had to go back to work and do real stuff. Some of them are planning to be social influencers and do meet and greets and go city to city for a long while after they get done with that. As happened, you've all seen, everyone's pretty much on Cameo. There's another site, and I can't remember the name of it, but there's people, a few people from this season who are on that site, and they don't charge just for a little video message. They charge if you want them to like one of your posts on Instagram or Twitter. You can pay them like $20 or $40. They'll like it. If you want them to follow you on one of those social medias, you can pay them $50 and they'll follow you. And so there's a lot more charges they put out there. I'm never gonna do that, guys. If y'all want me to follow you or like something, or just holler at me. I thought that was kind of funny that they're doing, but hey, capture the money while you can, I guess. It is weird when you first get out because you heard a lot about while you were in the house. People were talking, saying, "Oh, when I get out, I want to do Amazing Race, or I want to do this or that." And they're out there looking around, and there's always a lot of people that reach out to you after you've been on one of these shows. And I know they did. They said, "Hey, Cliff, if you join on board with us, we'll make you a star. We'll give you all this money." And a lot of people who kind of want to jump on the wagon and get a little share of the profits in exchange for different campaigns and all that. And so there's a lot of people that are demanding of their time right now, and they're all still trying to figure it all out and all that, which is why I reached out to a lot of them and said, look, if you got any questions, holler at me. I may know the answer, I may not, but just, you got people who've been through it all as well. We'll help you out as you need it. So people did that to me when I got out of the house. I was very appreciative, and I tried to do the same thing as well. So yeah, but I am looking forward to meeting all of them. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Kim Sinclair is saying, did I read on Instagram that Riley pulled the friend card on Matt? I don't know if I've heard it officially. It just doesn't seem to me that they're hanging around a lot and acting like they're beyond friends, if you know what I mean, right? I mean, even if you're in different cities, I would have expected to see a few more Instagrams together and Instagram lives and visiting back and forth. I mean Taylor and Joseph from last season, and a lot of the showmances, even if you don't think they're going to last for very long, at least short term. And then you got like Claire and Derek X, who, props to them. They going strong. But yeah, you just don't really see that as much between the two of them. But having said all that, I don't want to be starting any rumors. I don't know if they've officially said that it's just a friend type situation, or it's just everyone catching their breath when they get out. Riley was already out of the house, so she's had time to adjust back to real world. Matt, not so much, especially being final three. Because here's one thing I was going to point out. If you go to the jury house, you get to hang around with everyone and talk and get back to knowing each other without having the cameras all around you. It's a little bit more regular type life, and you no longer are people targeting you and all of that. And you get to share stories and kind of rehash with each other. You can't do that. Felicia came out fourth just like I did. She never really had a chance to visit with everyone else and talk about that kind of stuff. And if you're one of the top three, then you certainly don't have any time with it, because even on the very last night, finale night, while everyone else is doing press or doing interviews, backyard interviews, or going over to Todrick's house and things like that, typically those final three still had to hang around for an extra day or so to do extra press and all that. So by the time they got out, everyone else was kind of on a different level of what they'd been through. So yeah, I think especially Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane, it may just be they're just taking a little bit of a breath before they get back with everyone else. I don't know. All right, Tracy Muckenfuss is saying, isn't Matt still at Todrick's house? Is he playing reindeer games? Could be. I could see Matt playing. I mentioned Cameron, but yeah, I could see Matt doing that. Is he still at Todrick's house? I don't know. I feel like Todrick's just a permanent bed and breakfast over there. There's people over there for long periods of time. It would have been cool. Did y'all know when I worked at Six Flags Over Texas, Todrick was a performer there? We may not have overlapped. There may have been a few years between us, but I worked at Six Flags Over Texas. Todrick worked at Six Flags Over Texas. A little bit different. I worked at a gift shop. He was a dancer on stage. Should have known back then I was going to be the salesman. He was going to be the entertainer. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a deal because Todrick hadn't been on Celebrity Big Brother yet, and he wasn't doing that for Big Brother when we got out. In some ways, it would have been cool to meet him and hang out and all that. But on the other hand, I was ready to see my family. It would have been tough for me to say, well, appreciate it, and maybe I'll go there for a minute or two, but I really would prefer to be with some other people. So I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision between the two. When I got out of the house, everyone went to Vegas. It was a huge party they had in Las Vegas. They went and hit raves or whatever, foam parties. Not necessarily what I was thinking about doing when I got out of the house itself, but a lot of my castmates all went to Vegas and hung out to each other. You know, the youngins and all that. Me, I was hanging with the family, but yeah, maybe Matt is. I'm pretty sure though he was in Louisiana because I saw a bunch of the photos he posted with a lot of fans at the LSU tailgate. So he may have been in LA, but I think he's back in Louisiana. Yeah, he may be in a different LA. LA is in Louisiana. You know what I mean? But who knows? I could see him on reindeer games, and I'll be cheering for him if he is. All right. Edge is saying 6 and 7 are two of the best Big Brother seasons. I've heard that. I need to watch it so badly. I just haven't done it. Yeah, I'd like to. I really thought when I was sequestered before I went in that they would have all the old seasons on CDs or DVDs or whatever. Yeah, they didn't have any of that. I asked them for that. Nah, we don't have that. Ask them for Hunger Games. I thought that'd be appropriate. Nah, we don't have that either. I thought Hunger Games would get me in the right mood to play Big Brother, but yeah, I need to check out 6 and 7. When they had the All-Star season, not my favorite season, but it did give me a lot more exposure to Keisha and to Janelle and Kaiser and some of their background. So at least I know a little bit more about the story. And I've hung around with Bunky over in Orlando a couple times, and he's told me a lot of stories about his season, he and Ken and all that. So that's always been entertaining as well. But yeah, I need to check it out. Just haven't done it yet. All right, Mr. Brownbeard saying Naked and Afraid show. Yeah, I'd do that. Or Alone. Are you saying would I go on it or do we watch it? Definitely we watch it. I love Naked and Afraid just because you've got people throwing themselves into the absolute worst, most extreme environments. And it just shows a lot about the human will to survive and to tolerate and to put up with horrible stuff. I love that show. And then Alone, where they put them out there. I love Alone because they say, we don't know how long it's going to last. Whoever stays out here the longest, once you're the only one left, then we'll come get you. But until then, it could be 2 months. It could be 4 months. And they're out in the middle of nowhere, starving, catching their own food, building their own shelters, and all of that. Don't think I'd go on Alone because there's no way I could survive. Put me on Naked and Afraid. I may get insect bites where I don't want insect bites, but I'd do that. That'd be interesting, so to speak. Yeah, very interesting. All right, Terry Atler is saying, Terry Atler Jr. is saying, who likes Wipeout with John Cena? Yeah, we've watched plenty of Wipeout with the big balls and spinning around and everything. I feel like they ought to just build a theme park. Just let people go out and do those as some kind of team building exercise or something else. Would be a lot of fun. And John Cena is one of my favorite actors. I like, I gotta say, maybe I like the old version of Wipeout a little bit more than the newer version. But I've watched a lot of that. And there was another one I was going to tell you about, and I can't remember. Let's see if I got that on here. Yeah, a Wipeout we've watched, and Impractical Jokers. That's the other reality show we watch. I talked about Impractical Jokers while I was inside the house. I feel like there's some episodes that I must have seen a dozen times, and they still come on, and I still laugh every time they've got it. So yeah, all those shows. Again, if it's reality TV, I probably have watched my fair share of it. I even watch Casa Grande. I think that's what it's called, or El Hermosa Grande. I think that's the Spanish version, the Mexico version of Big Brother. I've watched a few episodes of that just to practice my Spanish and see if I can understand what they're saying. Sometimes I can, sometimes it's a little harder. All right, Tiffany Folger is saying, what do you think of Big Brother in other countries? Well, would you play in a different country? Yeah, I would, but put me in the Mexican version. I'm probably at a distinct disadvantage because I will only understand a small bit of the conversations. I used to do a lot of work down in Venezuela and Colombia and Bolivia, Argentina, a lot of South American countries. And there was a time where I was actually decently fluent with Spanish, understanding and speaking it. Unfortunately, that was 15, 20 years ago, and I just have kind of gotten out of habit since then. Yeah, I'd love that, but put me in Big Brother UK. I'd do that. Put me on Big Brother Canada. I'd do that. There are plenty of Canadians, though. I don't think they're fighting to try to get me on one of the other countries. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to do another country because I don't know. Our Big Brother Australia would be a lot of fun. Sometimes the game's a little bit different. Even the mentality about who you vote for to stay in the house or vote to kick out of the house, it's a little bit different. And for someone like myself, who is so dependent upon a social game, to try to come into another country and try to quickly develop relationships with a lot of people, that's kind of taking the age issue that I had to deal with and multiplying it tenfold when you're suddenly talking to some people who grew up different schools, different histories, everything different than you. That'd be hard. But hey, the ultimate test. I certainly would give it a go. So, hey, BBC, or Channel 4 or whoever you are over there, if you want to call me, if I see London area code show up, I'll answer it. Give me a call. Yeah, that'd be fun. But I'm not necessarily holding my breath waiting for it either. All right, Beverly Brannon saying, that was a problem with this season. People didn't know the game, were there for attention. Yeah, I will say this. As a super fan, I hate to use that word because I don't know that I'm a super fan because I can't even tell you every single winner without having to go back and look at some stuff. But and I certainly can't tell you every single person who's ever played the game, what vote they were voted out in, what week they went. So I'm not a super fan compared to some people, but as a longtime fan of Big Brother, I didn't really like, even during my season, I had a little bit of a bias against the people who were recruits that came in. And we certainly had a few recruits in our season. And there were people this season as well who, recruit or not, some people are there to play the game, to win the money because it's a love of the game itself. And then there's others who see it as a platform to get into other opportunities. Yeah, sure, if I make it to the end, great. But really, I want to be an influencer for XYZ product line when I get or something. Y'all know there's a lot of people that do that as well. And I never really had as much. It's not a lack of respect. I was going to say that, but it's just I didn't see the passion. And that's what I like seeing during my season. Even though I worked against them the whole time, I wanted to work with them and they just wouldn't work with me. But Christy and Tommy, huge fans of Big Brother, both of them. And I just wanted to work with people like that, and they wouldn't have it. We would have done better if they had, but whatever. Outlasted them, didn't I? But no, they were both huge Big Brother fans, and I had a whole lot of I enjoyed talking the game with them and hanging out with them because I could see the joy in their eyes when they played the game. Even when Christy's crying, she still was happy to be playing the game of Big Brother and kind of fulfilling a bucket list type situation, as was I. And I saw that from some people this season. I feel like Corey was like that a little bit. Jag, before he went in, he talked about how it was just so cool that he was going to get to be in that house and have some fun with it. I feel like Felicia was the same way. So, yeah, there were some people in there and others that, I just feel like they were in there just like, hey, whatever happens, happens. But I'm just going to use this as a springboard for something else. And those are the ones I was a little more comfortable saying, yeah, you can go on out right now because I'm not too worried about it. All right. see what else we have on this. Cindy Hire saying, uh, when I went Jag, I sent Jag a congrats, and he responded. I'm glad to hear that. I know when I got out of the house, I tried to respond to everyone who said that was polite. A lot of haters out there. Everyone, no matter how much you're liked or not liked, there's always some people that just feel like they just have to kind of dig on you. So I had a few people like that. Not many, not as many as other people in my season. There were some people that really got raked over the coals. But yeah, for all the people that were wanted to talk Big Brother when I got out, I was happy to. It was part of the experience, and I feel like I'm not surprised that Jag responded to. He responded to me as well, and we talked a little bit. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I think Jag is going to, well, obviously he won $750,000. I think he's going to be very appreciative of his experience. But even if he hadn't, I think he would have enjoyed getting to play that game. And I expect he's going to be involved with the Big Brother world for quite a while. You know, some people will move on and do something else, but I think he'll be around for a while. I'm curious, Suri. I'm not sure. Maybe she talked about this was a lot harder than she thought. She may just be capturing her breath, but I feel like her world may still be more Survivor than Big Brother. So she may stay a little bit more involved with that side and not necessarily as active with Big Brother and all that. But we'll see. And I look forward to seeing. I've never met Sari before. She's one of my favorite Survivor players. It'd be cool to meet her one time and just really compare differences between the two games and all of that. All right. My ass is dragging. Saying Matt and Jag were more touchy-feely than Matt and Riley ever were. Yeah, they certainly got comfortable with each other, right? Playing footsies here and there and a few things. It's weird you get in that house after a while, because I've had people saying, oh, how weird sharing the bathroom with all those people, or people saying, oh, they shared forks with each other, or they took a bite and then someone else took a bite. How gross is that? After a while, it's almost like they're family. Even though some people in the family maybe you like a little bit more than other people in the family, you just almost feel like they're family when you spend that much time around them. Because I remember at the end, it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to worry too much about anything. I was more reserved than some people, or some people were just open about everything. There were no secrets with anything. But yeah, I wasn't quite like that. But you do get to that point where you just feel comfortable with each other. I feel like Matt and Jag were like that to some degree. Riley, she was only in there 2 weeks. They never had a chance for her. That's why I think it's funny that Matt seems so preoccupied with her there at the end, considering that they'd spent a lot more time apart from each other than together for those couple of weeks in the house. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We talked about that before. We'll see what their official status is here over the next couple of weeks. All right. Corrections is saying, I'm watching Big Brother 21 now for the first time. Well, yay. Thoughts about Jack when he was in the house. Jack seemed really mean so far. I'm at the part where Jessica wins HOH and puts up Mickey and Jack. So good. Yeah, I kind of liked that week as well. Yeah, I put up Jack and Mickey, and Jack was my target. I put Jack. He seemed a little in control. He seemed like he felt like he had everything under wraps while he was in the house with me. He was a little bit louder than everyone else. Oh, he and Mickey would just talk at the top of their lungs. That drove me crazy. Being the far side of the house, you'd hear them yelling back and forth to each other. But I really, while I was in there, I felt at the time that Jack was the linchpin of that whole group, that he was kind of holding Christy and Tommy together. I knew I thought Christy liked Jack even more than I found out later, but I really felt that Christy and Tommy were just huge fans of Jack, that I knew Jackson Mickey was a huge fan of Jack. So I felt like Jack was the one in the middle holding everyone together. And he had already won HOH week 2 when he sent Kimmy out the door. Yeah, week 2. And then he almost won the HOH that I won, Patch Perfect. It was he and I in the final question, and I just beat him like a drum. But he almost won that HOH as well. So I felt like he was a pretty strong comp beast. Plus, he had the charisma, he seemed like, to hold that side together. So that's why I wanted him out of the house. I didn't catch I didn't see some of the stuff like with Kimmy with the shaker bottle. I didn't see that. I wasn't in the room, but I do know he had said some things to Nicole about, oh, enjoy your time while you're here. It may not be long, but go ahead and enjoy it, Nicole. So a little condescending at times, but we were on okay terms. I wanted to try to stay on good terms with him because I thought he was such a strong player. I didn't want him targeting me, so I had to kind of kiss up a little bit and all. But I didn't realize some of the stuff until I got out, and there's a shame. I'll just leave it at that. But in the house, I thought from a strategic standpoint, he had to go. I wasn't doing it because I thought he was being mean or anything else. I just felt like he needed to go and the other side would fall apart. I didn't make it happen, but here's the beauty. If you're watching, I think they showed on part of the episode. As soon as I won HOH, I went in and told Kat and Jessica, I said, if you've already been on the block, you are not going on the block this week. If you've been on the block, feel safe because I am not putting you up there. And I would have never put either one of them on the block. But it certainly made me feel a lot more comfortable than when Jessica won that HOH that I, in turn, was going to be safe. And then she put up Jack and Mickey just like I did. And she won veto as well. So she was able to make happen what I couldn't quite pull off. But, yeah, I was so happy when she did that. Enjoy it. As we get to the jury, that's the most exciting part of my season. A lot of people said that, and I tend to believe that as well. Because that big old alliance has a few issues. We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but I like Big Brother 21. Of course I did. All right. What time is it? 7:49. Yeah, let's talk about a couple of things, and we'll get to one or two more questions if I get a chance. I was going to tell some Thanksgiving story. Well, maybe we'll still have a chance. We'll see. I want to mention this, though, before I forget. I don't think I said at the very start, but this is episode 155 of Cliff Notes Live that I've been doing out here on YouTube. So y'all know what that means, right? That is 2 years and 51 weeks worth of episodes. Next week is going to be 3 years. So yeah, 3 years I've been doing the show. I thought I wanted to do maybe something a little bit different. So I've got an idea. Y'all let me know if you think it'll work or not. And we may try it. It may be a complete flop. And if so, that's okay. It's all about experimenting, taking chances. But what I thought about next week, instead of just me talking the whole time, I want to see, I use StreamYard as my platform to do all these shows. I think I can do an invite link get the invite link, post it on the comments, pin it. And that way, any of y'all who maybe want to come on, share the screen with me, talk a little bit about Big Brother, reality TV, Survivor, whatever y'all, Thanksgiving, whatever you want to talk about. Click on that. I think I can bring in a few people at a time to the screen. Let's have a little bit more back and forth. Depending on how many people want to do it, it may just be for a few minutes at a time as we circle people through. But we'll see. But if you want to be on Cliff Notes Live, if you've got a camera set up, if you're properly clothed, we want to be appropriate, right? But if you want to be on the show, I'm thinking about doing that, and I would love to have all of y'all. I talk so much and I try to read your comments, but it'd be kind of cool to get the other side as well. So that's what I'm thinking. Y'all think about it. If it's something that you want to do, get your cameras and your mics ready and we'll try it. If it works, great. If not, well, that's okay. I'm sure we'll find something to fill up our time as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about it. But I think I'm going to do that next week. So be warned and be ready. All right. Real quick, I'll tell a story too before we shut down. Not today. Thank you, Not Today. I see that super sticker out there. I am so appreciative. This is a labor of love that I do this every Monday just because I love hanging with guys and talking about reality TV and all that. But I appreciate the extra support. It means a lot. It truly does. So thank you. I do appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we got. A couple more questions, and then maybe I'll tell a real quick story or two. Sonia Battle saying, the old original Ninja Warrior in Japan was amazing and heartbreaking, but wonderful to watch if you can find it. Yeah, I like Ninja Warriors. I'm amazed at what some of the people can do on that show. There used to be a show, old Japanese game show called, I think, Endurance, where you start off with like 100 people, and they did all these competitions, and it just worked their way down until there was only one left. And typical Japanese stuff, they were so silly. It was things like being underwater in a swimming pool with a funnel, and you had the last one or last half that were underwater still breathing. moved on to the next round. Easy enough, except that they're spraying water and dropping flour into these funnels and all. Just silly stuff like that. Some of those Japanese game shows, a little bit interesting. But yeah, I've seen the Ninja Warrior. I'm not sure I've seen the Japanese version, but they're pretty good at it. There's that back and forth. Anyone who's good at that parkour blows me away. Some of the stuff they could do. They can have Ninja Warrior for someone like myself. Probably a little more simple. Yeah, I complained about the OTAV this season that I felt like they kind of made it a little more easy for a few people in a house. Talk about making it easy. Old Ninja Warrior, you'd have to have a few less monkey bars and swings and things like that. The wall would have to be a little less for me to be in that game. But yeah, I love watching people who just defy what I think is possible of humans. It's always fun. Excuse me. Getting a cough all of a sudden here. All right, let's see. What else we have on here? Tiffany Folger saying, Fowler saying, Folger saying, I have to give the mamas credit. Big Brother 25 was the cleanest Big Brother house ever. Absolutely. Ma saying Felicia's pitching a cooking show. I'd watch it. I'd be curious to see what she cooks. No, they did great between Felicia's cooking and yeah, they kept everything clean. Our season, Kat did a lot of the cleaning. When she got bored, she would clean the oven, the bathroom, a lot of things. I did a lot of cleaning, but it was more the dishes and things like that. But yeah, they kept the place spick and span. I'm not sure we were quite as clean as they were. In fact, I know we weren't. Certainly in terms of clothing and making your beds and things like that. The mamas is a good label for those two. Felicia kept them in line. But yeah, I gotta say, Felicia was so much fun in that house. I wasn't sure what to think of her at the very beginning. But she, with her call out to Mr. B and all that, every time she's on there, I caught myself a little bit of a smile. So I'm glad she's on there. I've talked to her just a little bit. I'm looking forward to saying hello to her at some point in the very near future as well. All right. Let's see. What else we got on here? All right. Karen Loveland saying, Australian, Bowie Jane is Australian. Does she practice law in the U.S. or Australia? I don't know. Think it may be here in the United States based on what she said, but I don't know that for certain. I don't know if she's really said. I've talked to her also, but I haven't asked her about her law practice or anything. Seems like she's more into the DJing than she is the other one. But yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see. Patricia LeBate is saying, hello from Philadelphia. Watched your season. Do you still do the happy dance when you win something? Yeah, I think so. I got my little happy dance. I watching some of these Big Brother contests, I caught myself really emotionally involved. I was like, yeah. I either do a happy dance like this. I do my like that, or a lot of times just because of my experience at A&M, if I'm really happy, I go whoop, pointing like a gun, whoop. That's what we do to celebrate as well. So yeah, I kind of wear my emotions on my sleeve sometimes. When I'm happy, I do a little jumping around and all of that. So yeah, nothing wrong with being emotional about your victories. It makes life that much more fun. All right, what else do we have on here? I think 7:56. Let me. I'll tell you a couple of real quick Thanksgiving stories just to wrap up the last 5 minutes or so, and then we'll shut it down. Right. First of all, it's been 45 years. Do y'all even know? Some of you probably do. I know some do. Some may not. WKRP in Cincinnati. If you haven't checked it out before, check out my all-time favorite Thanksgiving episode of any TV show ever in the history of TV. WKRP in Cincinnati. You can probably just type in on YouTube or something. WKRP Turkey Drop. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but it involves a radio station that decides to give away free turkeys by dropping them from a helicopter without realizing that turkeys don't fly so well. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It's been 45 years since that show was on. And I still, every Thanksgiving, that's one of my traditions, is I pull up that particular episode and I watch it. And for 45 years straight, I've laughed every time I watch that episode. So a blast from the past. I can't believe it's been 45 years. So some of y'all are going to watch that and think, God, that is like ancient days, but it's still pretty funny. So WKRP in Cincinnati, my gift to you, if you haven't seen it before, WKRP in Cincinnati Turkey Drop. We got that. All right. What else do we have on here? Brian Hotzer, Terry Thomas, Cindy Heyer would, let's see, let me adjust my glasses here for a second. uh, would talk about Julie. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah, yeah, Cindy. I definitely would love to get you on, have a little bit of conversation about what Cindy said. And Ma and Brian, these are my moderators. Y'all do so much for me, and I appreciate it so much. I'd love to have y'all on as well, Terry as well. There's a lot of y'all. I can spend the next 5 minutes talking about folks I'd love to have on next week with the camera. So think about it, because I think it'd be fun. I'd love to see you guys and talk a little bit about that. So, all right, guys. I think with that we're going to shut it down. Other Thanksgiving stories? Yeah, no, I'll just finish up on that, and we'll talk about them as part of a post Thanksgiving. I got to come up with some pranks. I've been so busy with Big Brother. I'm a little lacking in the prank department, but I'll have something figured out for by the time I do my family celebration this weekend. So, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Y'all be thinking about next week. I'll put some kind of reminder out, but I think that'd be fun to do. If y'all are game, I'm certainly game. But y'all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Some of you will be staying home. Some of you will be traveling. Stay safe wherever you do. Enjoy turkey or whatever your family traditions are. But just remember, it's all about Thanksgiving more so even than the food. Just think about it, everything that's going so well, and grateful for everything that we've got. So many people in the world don't have anywhere close to what we have. And I remain thankful for it every single day. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. I'll finish it up with another SKD 143. Love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all. Enjoy your holidays. And as I finish up, again, if you haven't already done so, please consider going out, subscribing to my channel, hitting the like, the thumbs up if you would, and turn on those notifications. And we'll keep the party rolling all the way through the holidays and into the next year. And before you know it, instead of episode 156, we'll be on episode 312. And I'll still be talking about Big Brother. Guys, y'all have a great one. Until next Monday, happy Thanksgiving. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye. If I can hit the button. Cheers, guys.